Hi guys, welcome to our Pilates video. This has taken quite a few hours to put this together, so we really hope you enjoy it.
Start with a roll down, so we're going to lower the chin to chest, roll down through the upper spine, roll down through the lower spine all the way down. Knees can be slightly bent, and then roll back up again. Good, lengthen tall, shoulders away from the ears. So, for this one we're going to roll down from the wall. It just helps to kind of teach body awareness. We're going to step one foot in front of the other, resting with the feet on the floor, hip width apart, and the spine is against the wall. So we're going to lower chin to chest, we're going to roll away, only halfway down. Hannah's going to cross her arms so you can actually see what's going on in the spine. But you don't need to cross your arms will generally be relaxed, just hold there. And again, rolling back up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, easing back up. You can upper body still, just lower chin to chest. And then start to peel away, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head lowers forward, vertebrae by vertebrae. That's better. Rolling down and then hold there. So this part of the back's going to stay in place. You're going to press back here to the wall. And then you're going to press back here to the wall. So inch by inch, here, press to the wall. As you press back inch by inch, working your way back up. Let's do that one more time with that in mind. Rolling vertebrae by vertebrae. Segmental control. That looks much nicer. Push back to the wall. Push back to the wall. Breathe in. This time with breath. As you breathe out, lower chin to chest, rolling through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And again, rolling back up, using the out breath. So we're going to pole raise. I'm going to get you to fold the band in half, hold on to each end. Good. And then bring the band up to your forehead. So ideally what we're looking for is a 90-degree angle of your elbows. So Hannah, you can take both hands slightly further away from each other. Good. We're going to think about tucking away the tail. Belly button pulls in, lift pelvic floor muscle. Fix the pelvis in place as you now float the arms up. So imagine you're doing this with a pole, hence why it's called pole raise, and then back down. So out breath, you're going to go up, make sure the shoulders stay down. That's it, left shoulder, good. Good. Keep the ribs soft. So you can almost kind of feel like you're going to bend that way as the arms go up. So you can make sure your body stays level. And you'll probably find those muscles working in the lower back. Shoulders staying away from the ears. And even though you're not lifting much weight, you feel quite rapidly kind of warmth in the shoulders. We'll do one more. So aiming for about 6 here. And then we're going to go into standing angel. So we're going to open up that band. And we're going to rest the band down on the floor. Stand on the band. So, band comes in via little pinkies, out via the thumb. So arms are straight down by the side of the body. Again, body lengthens tall, ribs stay soft. So we're going to turn the palms to face forward. And from here we're going to float the arms up, but keep the shoulders down. Careful not to lift the shoulders. Good. So this time Hannah's going to do it with lifting the shoulders, just to demonstrate. Watch the shoulders. Don't lift the shoulders like this. Watch the shoulders lift. Careful not to do that. So keep the shoulders down as the arms float up. Again, aiming for about 6. But make sure the tail stays tucked under, that you're keeping that neutral spine. Chin's nodding. Good. So there's 3. So core muscles still working with those core muscles as we work with the upper body, the arms staying straight. Good. How many done, Hannah?
This is 6.
Good. And then we're going to change the hand position. Same again, but this is inverted standing angel. So we're going to turn the hands around the other way. So this time the band comes in via the thumb and out via the little pinky. So as you can see, the hands are now turned up the other way. Doing exactly the same thing. Ribs soft, tails tucked under, float the arms up. And notice the thumbs are pointing down. Again, shoulders stay away from the ears. Again, the core muscles are working. Now, for some of you that may have had shoulder injuries in the past, like me, you may find that this one feels quite intense in a certain part of the shoulder. I'd say maybe don't move away from that. Don't obviously work too strong. But allow that muscle to work, allow the muscle to kind of get some blood flow and rehabilitate that shoulder. How many done, Hannah?
6.
Oh, look at that timing. Okay. We'll stop there.
Okay, so we're doing half moon. So fold your band in half. Hold it to the side and then put it above your head. So imagine there's a barrel to your left hand side. You want to lean over, stretch up and over the barrel. Back to the centre and then the other side, up and over the barrel. We do this 3 times. And then breathe in. And then reach further over the barrel. Hold there, breathe in, and reach out further on the exhale. Again. Breathe in, exhale, breathe, reach further. Okay, if you lengthen out your band, we're going to go into a kind of like a forward lunge. So if you put your either foot in the middle of the band, lovely. You want to hold it sort of about knee height, in through the pinky, out through the thumb. You want a bit of resistance for doing biceps. And then you tuck your elbows into your side, lengthen or straighten your arms, and then pull them up in a curl. We want to do 12. You can adjust the resistance if it's too easy or if it's too difficult. How many have you done there?
11. 12.
Now we want to turn our hands around and swap feet. Turn our hands around, we're going to do it the other way, we're doing our triceps. So again, tuck your elbows into your side, lift up your arms and straighten or extend your elbow. Lovely, I want to do 12 of these.
So 3 more. 2. 1 more. So we're going to switch legs, switch band onto the other side. So it's kind of like a bent over row, holding the band so the band comes in via the thumb, out by the pinky. I'm going to pull the arms up and open, nice and wide with the elbows, nice straight lines through the head, through down to the back foot. Belly button pulling in, lifting pelvic floor to keep the stable pelvis or stable core. Be mindful not to raise your shoulders towards your ears, so shoulders are definitely away from your ears. Good. And then we're going to switch over to working with the rotator cuff. So the band's around 1 foot, underneath 1 foot, crosses the body. Hold the band at belly button level. Open the arm out to the side. And then arm comes up and forward, elbow back to rib, back across again. Mindful here that the shoulder stays down and away from your ear. Body nice and tall. Core muscles still engaged. So rotating through the shoulder whilst the body maintains its neutral alignment. If, like me, you've got a, or have had a rotator cuff injury, then you may find the side of weakness or the side of injury, this may feel quite intense. So I'd recommend is that you work on the weaker or injured side and then equal that with the stronger side. Good. So 2 more to do. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to release the band from underneath the foot, bring it across to the other foot. Again, just place the foot on top of the band, just hold it in place. Hold the band at belly button level, tuck the tail under. Body nice and tall. Again, shoulders, make sure shoulders are not lifting. So shoulders stay away from the ears. As the arm floats up, shoulder stays down. Tail stays tucked under, there it goes. Body tall. So I make this number 5. Be mindful not to bend off to one side, keep the body nice and tall. Get some nice work through the shoulders. Good, last one. Lovely. So we're going to come down onto all fours. So we're going to set up in neutral. We're going to watch your back's not too arched. Arch your back a bit, Hannah. You're going to watch your back's not sagging down also. There you go. So you're going to make sure the back's nice and long and lengthened. You've got a nice neutral spine, which is a little curve in the lower back. Head's long and lengthened. So just do a little happy cat. We're going to raise one hand off the ground and then back down. Whilst we do this, we keep the shoulder away from the ear. Keep the body completely still and in neutral. The only thing moving is your arm. Good. We'll do one more on each side. And then when we come into kind of a child twist, I call this, we're going to bring the toes together, knees slightly wide, bring your hands close together. Starting with the right hand. And breathe in, the arm floats up to the sky, look at the sky, twist through the body. Make sure the left shoulder stays away from the ear, the lower shoulder. Returning. Again. Returning. So we're twisting through the body. So as we work through this, let's make sure now that the pelvis stays central to the mat, central. Remember the arm that supports you, keep the shoulder away from the ear so your body stays stable. So finishing up on this side. And we're going to come back to tabletop position, so knees come in, hands go out. Shoulder width apart with the hands, hip width apart with the knees. I'm going to start with taking the weight off one hand. I'm going to bring the hand forward, lengthen out, and return. Do the same on the other side. Good. Do a couple more on each side. Again, making sure the body stays completely still. Anything that's moving is the arm. Making sure the chin stays nodding. Some of you know from being in class with me that the head tends to start lowering to the ground. We're going to finish up with this one, and then we're going to work with the leg. We're going to slide one leg back, make sure the foot stays in contact with the ground. Turning back in on the out breath. Being sure that the body is not swaying from one side to the other. Good, returning back in. Now we're going to slide that first leg back out, and then opposite arm is going to go forward. Foot's then going to just about come off the ground. Keep that arm straight, leg straight. And we're going to circle 6 one way, 6 the other. The leg stays straight, the body stays still. As much as you can, keep the pelvis in place. So we go 6 in one direction and then 6 in the other direction. Good, make sure the ribs stay soft, so soften the rib a little, Hannah. That's it, good. And then switching to the other side, or you could take a rest here. In fact, let's take a little rest here, bring toes together, knees wide, child's pose in yoga. This is what's called in yoga. Pilates, we call it shell stretch. And then when you feel like you've rested enough, we're going to come on back up and do the same on the other side. So firstly, finding your neutral position. So one arm, one leg, foot gently off the ground, and again circling 6 one way, 6 the other. Notice the movement comes from the hip joint, not the knee, not the ankle. The pelvis stays in place. Ribs stay soft, belly button still pulling in. 6 one way, 6 the other. We're going to go into leg pull prone, so again you might want to rest here, so back into shell stretch, rest the head, rest the body. Good, and when you feel like you've rested enough, we're going to come back up onto all fours. So we're going to go into leg pull prone, so we're going to find a plank position. Now don't immediately go into plank, because what I want you to do is stay in your neutral position. Like we did just now, slide one leg back, toes tuck under this time, and then we do the same on the other. So the body stays in its same place, you just shift the legs into place. From here we rock gently forward and back. We're going to do that 3 times, so twice more. Notice the body is not lifting, it's not lowering. Now if you like, you can add more to this by raising one foot just off the ground. So we're going to go into down dog, just to rest. And then when you're ready, if you want to take this a little further, one foot comes off the ground, and again 3 times, forward and back, gently, slowly. In between each time, going back to that down dog position, means that your hands and feet can stay in the same place whilst you rest. This is the kind of place to rest. It's still active, but you can rest, and then we can switch to the other side. Now you have a choice here. You could pause the video and just do a few more of these. But remember, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Let's finish up, Hannah, with both feet on the ground as you rock forward. 3, forward and back. We're then going to go into a down dog. But from here, shortly, we're going to pivot forward again back into that plank position. But this time, as you go back, we're going to reach one hand back to the foot, opposite foot. Now, some of you won't get your hand off the ground, but you'll think about getting the hand off the ground, and that will just change how your musculature is working. Good. That's Hannah's hips saying thank you for this extra movement. Good. Pivoting forward. Trying to keep your body nice and central to the mat, not twisting. Finishing equally. Whichever side you started on, you're going to finish on the opposite side. And then we're going to rest again into that child's pose, or in fact shell stretch. We're going to go with the roll up with a band. So we'll start with finding the centre of the band around the feet. We're going to start with the knees bent a little way in. We're going to hold the band. So the band comes in via the little finger, out via the thumb. We're going to sit nice and tall, lengthen up through the spine. We're just going to roll about a quarter of the way back, tucking the bottom under, rolling through the lower back. Breathe out as you roll back. Good. So this part of the body is going to stay in place. So you're going to press back here. Imagine the walls behind you. No, that's forward. Back. Press back. Press back. Press back. Press back. Press back. As you start to then straighten back up. So we then start to move through the spine, working your way up, lengthening until the head comes up too. That's it. So let's roll back. Hold, breathe in. Breathing out, coming forward in that C curve. Keep that C curve, and then again, working up the spine, pressing back, working your way up. Lovely. Think about like when we're against the wall, restacking the spine. Breathe out, rolling back. Again, hold and breathe in. Breathe out, keep that C curve in the body as you roll forward. We're going to release the band. We'll do the same again. This time we're going to lengthen nice and tall. We'll float the arms up to shoulder position, shoulder level. We're going to roll through the spine just like you did. So this time working without the band. All the way down, hands overhead. And again, as you breathe out, arms float up, back presses into ground, lower back, rolling through the spine, rolling forward, reaching past the feet, legs stay straight. Breathe in and restack the spine, restacking, lovely. If you find this is too much, use the band. The band was there to support you. So if you need the band to help. Good. One more time. Good. Relax the arm. We're going to go into single leg stretch. We're going to bend one knee in. Without which, grab a hold of the band. So we're going to take one foot into the band, center of the band, and again laying back on your back. So we'll bend that knee in. Good. So let's work from imprint. So we're going to imprint the spine so back presses into the ground. We're going to hold that there. As you breathe out, press your leg out, holding the arms in place without moving the hands, bend the knee back in. And again, as you breathe out, press the leg out. So of course, the more resistance you have, the more the body's going to have to work against the resistance. We'll do one more time. Good. Let's switch legs. So we're going to tuck one foot in, release the other foot. Foot resting on the leg, on the floor. And again, 3 times, extend that leg out, making sure the back stays pressing into the ground, so still imprinting the spine. Good. Then we're going to go into double leg stretch. I'm going to bring both legs in. We're going to bring the heels together, toes point out. Good. And again, holding the hands in place as you press the legs out. And the important thing here is that your back stays pressing against the ground. And if you find that your back starts to peel up off the ground, you're going to press your legs more towards the ceiling. So Hannah, you're just going to do this to demonstrate. Bring your legs slightly further up towards the sky rather than out. And then bring the knees back in. So we go just a little bit further out, Hannah, not quite as far as you did just now. So you're still pulling out. So, and then progressively get lower and lower, only to the point where you can maintain imprint on the spine on the mat. Let's do one more. Good. And then we're going to rest up there. We're going to rest the band to one side. So we're going to go into corkscrew. We're going to work at 5 different levels here. We're going to start at the base, level 1. So Hannah's shifted down the mat because her legs shortly will go overhead. But we're going to start with one leg into tabletop position. That's knee above hip. Shin itself is level like the floor, level like a tabletop. So level 1, as you breathe out, just tuck the tail under, imprint the spine. Breathe in, knees back, body, and again the same. We're going to do 3. Notice the back imprinting, notice the knee going towards the chest. One more time. That's level 1. You can stay with level 1 here, guys, or level 2. Level 2, you're going to hold the legs pretty much in place as you still tuck the tail under. So you notice the legs are now staying in place as the back imprints against the floor. This is a little bit harder. We're going to do one more. Then we're going to go into level 3. Hands are placed on the floor, palms facing up like so. Like level 1, the knees come towards the chest, but this time press into the hands as the knees hover over the ears. We're going to lower back down to the ground, the head stays on the floor, back to your tabletop position. So as you breathe out, look too far with those legs. Good. Easy back down. So there's your level 3. If you want to go for level 4, we can, at this point here, straighten the legs. Legs are straight. Now the legs stay straight as you roll through the spine and back down. The legs will then be 90 degrees to the floor, so legs pointing directly up. And we work from here. Again, as you breathe out, imprint the spine, then press into the arms. Try not to lose that tucking under the pelvis. So next up, you might like to go for corkscrew, which is the full-on advanced move. So firstly, we come up onto the shoulders. We're going to come down slightly off-center, down one side of the spine, so coming down that left side of the spine, whilst keeping the feet fairly central. Legs come across the body, across the mat, and then up the other side. Back into the center, and then reverse back down again, back down that same side. Good. So making sure belly button's pulling in, lifting pelvic floor muscle as we roll through. Finish equally, so coming down. Take a little break here, take both arms above the head. Stretch the legs out, just lengthen out. So from here we're going into teaser. So let's start with bending both knees. So we're going to just again start at base level. Good. Now, so as you breathe out, the arms are going to float up, the ribs are going to soften down to the pelvis, the back's going to press into the ground, and you're going to just raise the body slightly up off the ground. Good. Too much. Breathe in and back down again. So same again. Not quite so much. So the lower back stays in contact with the mat. Lower back stays in contact. So you're actually not coming off the ground, you're just activating the muscles. There, that's it. Lovely. Good. And then we're going to stretch legs out. We're going to do exactly the same with the upper body, but we're going to raise one leg about 45 degrees to the floor. So as you breathe out, the leg comes up, the arms come up, the body comes up. There, lovely. And then back down. Breathing in. Breathing out as you, again, other leg. Good. So we'll do that once more on each side. Good. Now if this is working you strong enough, then we're going to stay at this level. But this next time through, we're going to come up a little higher. This time you might bring yourself actually up onto your bottom as you raise your first leg. Breathing out as you roll your body back down, leg comes down too, arms overhead. And then switching leg onto your second leg. Good. We're going to do one more each side. So Hannah's probably starting to feel the work already because she's done quite a few. So guys, you might stop at this level here. You might even want to pause the video and come back to it as you do a few more. Or you might then go for both legs raising. So we come up with both legs and the body. And if, like Hannah, you've done a few already, you're probably finding this is now getting a little bit tough. So we'll do maybe 2 more. If Hannah wants to take a little rest here, she can. Good. So making sure that belly button's pulling in, lifting pelvic floor muscle. And rest. So we're going to finish up with that roll over. So we're going to bring the legs into a tabletop position. Good. And then we'll extend the legs up to the sky, straighten the legs. And then as you breathe out, you're going to pull the belly button in, you're going to lift pelvic floor muscle, you're going to roll through the pelvis as the legs come up and overhead, up into the sky, and then back down. Feet come towards the ears as you lower back down. Good. Lovely. Again. So. And then down. Good. Now this one's quite an advanced move. A lot of people struggle to get into this position, but it really depends on your fitness level. Depends on where you've worked at before. The last one. Good. Knees to chest. And rest.
So now you're coming into a seated position. Put the band around your feet, lengthen tall with your spine straight. You need to pull one arm at a time back, keeping your elbows bent. We call it archery arms. Suck in your core to keep firm. So now we're going into the straight arm pull. You need to keep your arms straight and pull out both arms at the same time. You can adjust the band for more or less resistance. Keep your core tucked in. Keep your back straight.
So from here, we're going to bend the knees in. We'll switch the hands around, hold the bands like we have done in the past. Tuck the elbows in, lift the body tall. Roll back, hold this position. Twist to one side, pulling the elbow back and away from the feet, back to center. Same on the other side, pulling the elbow back, twisting through the body, come back to center. Ease your way back up tall, lengthen tall, hollow, engage, roll back, breathing out. So again, let's do it twice. Returning center. Again, core muscles still working, still lifting pelvic floor. Again to the first side, back to center. Again second, and returning back up. So from here we're going to go lie down on your side. So we're going to come into a side bend. So we're going to come on down onto your forearm. Fingertips point forward as so. Bottom leg's slightly bent. We're going to straighten up the top leg. And the important stuff here is I want you to notice the bottom shoulder, the ones attached to the floor. Make sure the shoulder's away from the ears. Hannah's going to demonstrate where your shoulder shouldn't be. There. So make sure the shoulder, activate the shoulder, pull that shoulder away from the ear. And then as you breathe out, hollow, engage, and raise the hips from the ground. Good. Hannah, you're going to lower your hips just slightly there. Good. Extend the head away from the bottom foot. Raise the right hand or top arm up. Good. And as you breathe out, we're going to lower the hips down to the ground. Keep the arm up. And as you breathe out, come back up. So try not to rest down there. We're going to do that 3 more times. So we're going to come on down, almost touch, and then back up. And then down, and back up. 1 more time. Good. We're going to add in a little twist as you breathe out, come down with the arm, reach through, and then back up. We're going to rest up there. We're going to change sides, so rest down. We'll bring the head the other end. So we're going to do exactly the same again. So again, shoulder away from the ear as you breathe out, hollow, engage, raise the hips. Good, the arm floats up. And then we're going to lower the hips down to the ground, almost touching back up. So we'll do that 4 times, so 3 more. Make sure the head is extending, head stretching away from that extended lower leg, so the straight leg, stretching away from the head stretching away from the straight leg. Once you've done 4, we're going to add in a twist. Round and back up. And release back down. We're going to lie down on the side, so you can stay in that same side, just have a little lie down, stretch your legs out. Good. So we're going to raise the top leg up. So I'm going to do a little hip hitch just to make sure the pelvis is stacked up. What I want you to do, Hannah, is pull your hip in. You find the body there sinks down to the ground. We're going to stretch that top leg out again. You notice the pelvis then stacks one hip above the other. Little gap underneath the side body. If you just point to your side body there, a little gap underneath. Stretch that arm out underneath. Show off. Good. So we're going to maintain that gap now as we make small circles with the leg. We're going to 6 one direction, 6 in the other direction. Making sure the leg stays straight, make sure the pelvis stays stacked up, that little gap stays underneath the body. Make sure the movement is nice and smooth. Once you've gone 6 one way, we then go 6 the other. And then we're going to switch over, do the same on the other side, complete the other side, do the same. So into those small circles. So again, stacking up the pelvis, stretching the hip away, and again 6 circles, making sure the pelvis stays in place. That gap remains underneath the body. Again, pelvis staying fixed in place, belly button pulling in, lifting pelvic floor muscle. Good. Rest there, tuck the knees into the chest. So there you have it, guys. First Pilates video put together by ourselves. It's taken us a long time.
We hope you enjoyed the Pilates video.
It was really boring. So guys, if you liked what we've done here, do send us some questions. It's nice to get some ideas from you guys as to what you like, what you don't like. It can lead us into producing more stuff that you actually like and what you want.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the Pilates video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and you will be the first people to know when we bring out something else.